Welcome back to all the crackers in the box. It is here. It is time. It's new project day. Got my trusty 3.5, which means amigurumi day. Thanks for joining me. Hello. Welcome back. About to start some amigurumi today. This is my favorite for amigurumi, my 3.5. It's loose. It's well loved. This is about my fourth one I've been through in this size because it seems to be my favorite size. So for a magic ring, I clip here, I cross over, and I grab it with my thumb. I'm going to get this outside one. Take your hook. Pull and twist. And get this loop through. Once you've got this on your loop, your ring is intact. You can actually let it go. That's one thing a lot of people don't know. They think they have to keep it in that awkward positioning for a long time. One, two, three, four, five, and 6. I'm going to pull that string right there. I wouldn't go fully tight until you've gotten to your second round, but a little bit tighter is very helpful. One, and 2. Stitch marker is going to be your friend from now on to make sure you don't lose your spot. Your beginning piece, because that is the most important part, is to know when your row is done. And we're ready in 3, 2, 1. So stitch marker is going to help you know where your row begins and where it ends. So you can keep track of your stitches, especially with amigurumi. It's really important that you keep a good stitch count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and good old 12. So that's our back side, and that's our front side. And give that a good pull now. And look at that beautiful stitching. Just gorgeous. Now for our third round, do a single crochet and then an increase for every 2 stitches. So we're doing yarn under, yarn over, yarn under does help keep your stitches a lot tighter. So on this one we're going to need to do 2. And 2. And 1. And 2. 1. And 2. 1. And 2. 1. And 2. And finally we have 1 left. And beautiful. Now I believe we're going to need 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Beauty. I'm going to mark that off. See, amigurumi is not the most exciting to watch because it is a lot of counting. It is really important to be able to build this roundness, but once you start getting into it, it's not as hard as it looks. So now, to get this roundness, we're going to have to do 2 single crochets and 1 increase to keep it going round without getting wavy. Because believe me, you don't want it getting wavy. Two and increase. One and 2. And occasionally I have to dig in there a little bit, and that's because I keep my stitches super tight because I know I'm going to stuff this, and I don't want any holes for the stuffing to come out. That's a big mess, and that's a ruined toy. And 2. This will be my increase. And increase again. We do our 1, 2, and I have 3 left, so that is perfect. That's exactly where we're supposed to be. I do like this yarn too. This came from something that was taken apart that was thrifted, and I absolutely love this yarn. It's really nice. And the lighter blue as well in the group there is really nice. The navy blue, I'm pretty sure is Red Heart Super Saver. It's a little tiny bit splitty, but it's actually not the worst I've ever had. It is softer than most because it has been used. Which is great. I don't mind using repurposed or thrifted. I can wash them. I can soften them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 24. And that is the first couple of rows of my amigurumi. This is not going to take me long. This one's not very big, but it definitely is a lot of concentration and a lot of counting. So obviously this is going to be 3 single crochets to an increase. And that's kind of the main thing of making these rounds, is at every row you're adding 1 more regular stitch. Sorry, there's my hand again. My messed up hand. It's marks all over it. I have been going through some cupboards and paperwork and all sorts of stuff trying to get things cleaned up and declutter a little. So my hands have been taking a little bit of a toll. Two and 3. But because I use Macao lotion, my hands are very, very soft. So I'm not sticking to my yarn, even though we're getting to that part of the year where it's very easy to dry out. I think I have to change out my filter in my furnace again. I think it's about that time. I'll have to check my records. But yeah, feels about the time. And I think in the next few days I gotta take down all my Halloween and pull out my massive amount of Christmas, because yeah, oh boy, that is a lot of Christmas decorations for 2, 3. Unfortunately, my bigger tree just did not make it. Somebody did not put it away properly and broke off a bunch of it, and it just wasn't savable. Two, 3, and it was an artificial tree, and it was thrifted, so I have no idea how old it was or how it was treated beforehand, but unfortunately it just did not hold up to just being thrown around and not exactly put away properly. So I took it out, and almost all the bottom branches had been broken right off. They just snapped. and they just kept falling off. I couldn't put anything on them. The kids would go walking by, and all the needles were coming off too, like everywhere. An insane amount of needles, like fake plastic needles everywhere when I had crawling children. It was very stressful. A lot of vacuuming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 2, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. And now we're getting a little bit of these. If you're making something similar and you start seeing these kind of like, see if I can pull this up a little closer, zoom in just a touch here. It's almost getting these square pieces. That is where you're doing your increases. And it does even out. So just trust the process. Because I know that's where a lot of people get like, okay, I'm out. This is not round. When you start doing your just single crochets around and around and around, it will become incredibly round. But now stitches are so tight. Don't forget to work it a little bit because you're going to want to be able to have it be stiff. Not stiff, sorry. You don't want it to be stiff. You want it to be strong. You want it to be good, but you also want it to be able to shape it. So I always, in between rounds, quite often will stop and just manhandle a little. Give it a little more life. I don't know if that's the way to put it. 1, 2. So if the last round was 3, this round's going to be 4. 4 single crochets and then an increase. 3, 4, and here we are at one of our tips. So it is kind of similar to, say, a hexie cardigan where you have your 6 tips. This is every 6. You're increasing, so you actually have a tip. 1, 2, 3, 4, and here we are. One and 2. Two, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2. Nope, this is a really nice, easy yarn to work with. 3 and 4. And there we are at our point. This one's a little more noticeable than the first few. And as we're building, they're becoming more and more noticeable. And that is totally what you're supposed to be seeing. It gives the round the shape that you don't expect. You don't expect this to work, and it does. 2, 3, 4. Go and beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Alright. And I'm going to have 2 rows, or 1 row, and then it is 5 single crochets, and then increase, and then about 7 rows of just single crochet. So I'm going to just put a little music on and speed it up a little bit so you can see how this works out. Be back. And as you can see now, you can't see the increases or those little points anymore. We have a bit of a bowl starting because this is going to be a head. It's coming out very nicely. So we've got our nice tight stitching. Our stuffing is going to fit in really nicely. We are going to knot this to make sure that this magic ring does not come apart. And that's how we start our amigurumi. Thank you for joining me here at All the Crackers in the Box today. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye.